Alright, we are continuing this video with descending here into beautiful Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Fall colors and a new Holiday Inn. Very exciting for Eau Claire. Big news in the town here. So I've unboxed our LCD panel here. I'm going to put the sharp stuff away from that so I can just show you. It's a shiny new, probably refurbished, honestly. Yeah, looks like it's a refurbished LCD panel. You see on the back the model numbers. This one was recommended specifically for my laptop. It's B156HAN01.2. The 1.1 and 1.2, from what I've read, are very similar, so just check your laptop's compatibility. The 1.2 isn't compatible with necessarily all the same laptops as the 1.1. I got all this lovely packaging material. We'll go ahead and put in the back seat without hitting the driver. Very important that you are aware of the driver during this and make sure you don't hit them with stuff. So in preparation, I already took the old cracked LCD out of this laptop. So you can see that's what it looks like without the LCD in. Got to give hand to Acer, or props to Acer on this one. This is the easiest laptop LCD removal I've ever done. 4 screws hold the panel in, and then it's just a standard 30-pin LCD cable to attach it. Bezel just comes off and on really easily with little clips, and was able to do that without tools. Really, really quick and easy. A lot easier than a lot of modern brands. And what we're going to do is just make sure that we very carefully plug in the 30-pin cable. The back of these cables are pretty easy to break. And when you do, then you're looking at replacing that entire cable, which is a whole ordeal where you need to open up the laptop and actually get on the back side of the motherboard there. But in my case, even though we're in a moving car, I think we can do this pretty safely. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, so I've clipped that in, and then from removing this, you will have a little piece of adhesive here that is to hold that cable in place, so you can just go ahead and reuse that same little strip of adhesive to make sure that cable is secured to the laptop here. If your tape is kind of worn out, I would recommend sticking a little piece of just like Scotch tape over that, but mine looks like it'll hold well enough. So let's see if we can do this. So we'll just, as we put the LCD back on, I'm just going to tuck this LCD cable back in neatly so that it's not in the way. And then you'll see other videos that are not in moving cars probably have better angles on this, but there are just 4 screws, and then there are 4 little notches that the LCD will click into, so use those little notches as kind of a guide to line up the screen. And then you just screw the 4 screws back into the holes. So super easy on this one. What I will do before we boot back up, this is always a good time before you fully commit. This is a good time to boot the laptop up and just make sure that the screen is actually functioning. So we're just going to do that now. And you can see right away we've got an Acer logo. Backlighting, pretty hard to judge in a moving car in direct sunlight, but it couldn't possibly be worse than the tan panel that was in here before. It was basically the most garbage laptop screen I've ever seen. Great laptop all around. You can get this, it's an Acer E575G low-end gaming laptop with a 950. There's a bunch of different configurations of this laptop, but you can get various configurations of this laptop for around $599. Dedicated video card, 2 gigs of RAM for the video, and it came with 8 gigs of RAM. I've upgraded it to 16, and there's space for a couple other drives, so I put in a couple other solid states. And just all around, really solid laptop for the money. The screen was pretty terrible, but that's why we're replacing it. So now that I can see that we booted up, I'm just going to shut that down. And normally on a laptop, I would recommend that you disconnect the battery during this type of repair, but unfortunately, thanks Apple, everyone is moving towards internal batteries, and it's a lot more screws to get to the battery out of this one, and I just don't have space in the moving car here to store all that. So we're taking some shortcuts today. And my replacement screen came with a little microfiber cloth here, so I just used that as a spot to store the screws. And hopefully I don't lose any of these in the car. I mentioned earlier that a lot of times you can get away with not all the screws. With putting an LCD panel in, when it's already only held in with 4 screws, I would definitely recommend using all 4. This is a little harder than I was hoping it would be. I would probably recommend doing other repairs in a moving vehicle. Maybe LCD panel, probably not the wisest. There's a risk that I could, I shouldn't say this, but drop the screwdriver and crack the screen again, or lose a screw in the car. But I'm a real mad lad. I like to take risks, so that made the driver here cringe a little bit. Getting this last screw in here. It's probably a really unflattering view of my face, and I almost dropped the screw. Saved it. Cool. So let's do that. As you can see here, we've got each of the 4 screws in place, and just need to reattach the bezel, and we're good to go. And I think that'll be boring, so let's call this the end.